Well, after a must-win game last night, the Phillies are headed back to Citizens Bank Park with a 3-2 series lead. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies Handsome Media. Today we're going to recap in last night's fifth game of the National League Championship Series between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Arizona Diamondbacks as the Phillies defeat the Diamondbacks by a final score of 6-1, as this is a must-win game here, ladies and gentlemen. After the Phillies win the first two games of this National League Championship Series, and they go to Arizona and drop the first two games there, and then they're finally able to rebound and win the final game in Arizona. Now, guys, before we get into this video, please subscribe if you haven't done yet. Please engage the bell, like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. As you're headed back to Philadelphia, which I'm sure they're already back now, with a 3-2 series lead and a chance to clinch the National League pennant tomorrow night, and they'd be the first team since the 2017-2018 Dodgers to do that. Of course, they did lose back-to-back World Series, if I remember, against the Astros and then the Red Sox, and the last time the Phillies did since 08-09, and I think they had a good chance of winning that 09 World Series, but unfortunately they just ran in a really good Yankees team. But besides that, I'm just so stoked about this win, right? This was a nice, decisive win. It wasn't like a scary game to watch, like you're on the edge of your seat the entire time, and you're in a really good position, right? Because we are hard to beat at Citizens Bank Park, and I just don't see the Diamondbacks winning 2 in a row at our ballpark. I just don't see it happening. So I think you're in really good position to clinch this National League pennant and head back to the World Series to face most likely the Houston Astros, right? The Houston Astros lose the first 2 games at home against the Texas Rangers, and then they go to Arlington, and the Rangers lose 3 straight. I mean, I think they thought they had that in the bag, right? That they were going to, clinch the American League pennant. And then they lose 3 straight to the Astros, and now they're facing elimination tonight. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But again, the Phillies are in pretty good position here. I mean, Kyle Schwarber, he's had a great series. He's been on fire. Bryce Harper continues to show his postseason heroics. So this team's just firing all cylinders once again. Offense is awake once again, right? I mean, we needed this. We needed this big time. It wasn't like a 10-1 win, but I mean 6 runs across the board. I mean that's very good. So we definitely needed this one. Zach Wheeler, he's able to eat us some innings last night. He had another fantastic start. I mean, this man has just been incredible. We have Aaron Nola tomorrow night as well. As we pick up the scoring summary here in the top of the first, Bryson Stott singles on a line drive to right as Kyle Schwarber crosses the plate, and the Phillies now lead it 1-0. So nice start there in the top of the first inning, coming off of a crushing loss the night before where he had a 5-2 lead. He ended up losing 6-5. That was just terrible. And I thought I had to cross your mind last night. Hey, I mean, we could have clinched last night, but hey, I mean, it is what it is. Maybe it was meant to be that we had to clinch in front of our home crowd, which hopefully we will do. I think, again, we're in very good position to do that. So Bryson Stott gets the Phillies on the board after a really rough night last night. That's not easy to do, right? I mean, you're coming off of that rough night, and then you're starting at the top of the first inning, and what a great start. What a great start to rebound. Then we pick it up here in the same inning. Bryson Stott gets caught between first and second in a heads-up play from Harp. I mean, this was incredible as he steals home. I mean, the throw was terrible. Like, it bounced. Terrible throw from Ketel Marte at second. I understand he's a very good player. That was terrible. Harper has a little collision at home plate. But he's the first Philly to steal home in the playoffs ever. So Bryce Harper, mark that down. I mean, I love the aggressiveness, and what a heads-up play. Everybody's safe. You were so frustrated because you're like, my goodness gracious, golly gee, we push across the first run of the ball game, and here Bryson Stott's going to get picked off, and you see Bryce Harper heading home, and I thought a good throw would have had him. But it was not a good throw from Ketel Marte. Little collision at home plate. Everybody was okay, but Bryce Harper, another heads-up play, and this is why. He's just so good at what he does. I love the aggressiveness. I love the fire. Wonderful job right there from Hart. The Phillies now lead it 2-0. Let me pick it up here in the top of the 6th inning. Some more runs from the Phils. Kyle Schwarber homers on a fly ball to right center field. An absolute bomb. 440 feet plus. 3-0 Philadelphia. So Kyle Schwarber with an absolute bomb. We love hitting long home runs. I mean, that's not an easy park to hit a home run in, right? I mean, it's one of the bigger ballparks, I'd say. And Bryce Harper would also join on the action as well with another absolute nuke as he homers on a fly ball to right center field. He was able to just beam that one out. That was just destroyed, and it's now 4-0 Philadelphia. The Phillies Get 2 home runs here in the top of the 6th inning, another 2 solo shots. Of course, the streak would be broken later in the ball game, but who cares? Right? That's not really a streak you should be overly proud of, but it is what it is. I mean, home runs are still home runs nevertheless, whether you have a 2-run shot or a 3-run shot. But Harper able to join on the home run parade, 4-0 Philadelphia. And then we pick it up here in the bottom of the 7th inning. This would be their only run of the ball game. Alec Thomas homers on a fly ball to right center field off of Zach Wheeler, the very first pitch there in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Diamondbacks go on the board because there was some uncertainty whether Rob Thompson would bring him back out there for the bottom of the 7th. And you know what? I give Thompson credit. I was knocking on the night before for using way too many pitchers, not really trusting guys like Chris Sanchez and Jeff Hoffman, but he trusted Zach Wheeler, and he didn't even take him out after this home run. So I give Tomper a lot of credit, because he had to hear what people were saying about it. Critiquing him, and Michael Barhan, Ricky Vitago, Ruben Ora Jr., Ben David, all critiquing what he does, and how, in my opinion, in their opinion, he really overmanaged the team. 2 nights ago, and I'm glad that he probably had to think about some things. And I'm not gonna say he listened, but he probably thought about some things. He's like, maybe I do need to trust my guys a little bit more. And the bullpen was so overworked in Game 4. I think that's part of the reason why he left Zach Wheeler in there. Because who are you going to go to? I'm just surprised we haven't seen Tyler Walker. I'm shocked at that. I don't understand why we haven't seen him at all. I think that's a mistake. But the Diamondbacks get on the board now, a 4-1 ball game. Then we pick it up here on the top of the 8th inning. I mean, you were feeling good, but after what happened the night before, you felt like you needed a little bit more. JT Muto was able to provide that for us as he homers on a fly ball to left field, a 2-run shot that breaks the streak, and it's now a 6-1 ball game. So at that point, you're feeling pretty good, right? The Diamondbacks only have 2 more at-bats. You have a 5-run lead, and now it would be your final. 6-1 is your final score. Remuto's 3rd home run here in the postseason. And with all these balls is dying on the warning track, I mean, so many hard-hit balls, a lot of good plays, you weren't even sure that was even going to get out. When the ball finally went over, I was actually surprised that it went out. So a 6-1 Phillies, they lead the series 3-2. So now they're in pretty good position. They beat Zach Allen again. I mean, he had a great postseason, not playing against us, though, right? Not playing against us. So Zach Wheeler, 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run was earned, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. I mean, this man is just truly incredible. He is the horse of this rotation. He definitely kind of had an iffy 2023 regular season. Not to talk too much. He had a 3.61 ERA, which compared to years prior for him, wasn't really up to his standards. I think he would even admit that. But this night was definitely his night. I mean, he showed up, once again here in the postseason. I love this. I love the clutch, starting pitching that he's able to provide. And Jeff Hoffman was able to come in there in the bottom of the 8th inning and also do his job after throwing a lot of pitches the night before. And Sandy Dominguez, this guy, I swear he's going to give me a heart attack. I can only get the first 2 outs there in the bottom of the 9th, and then they bring in Strand to collect the final out as there's a check swing, which he clearly went around on, and that would be your final out of the ball game. So 3-2 series lead. Predictions. I think we're going to end it Monday night. I think Monday night we're going to win. And I think we're going to be headed back to the World Series. So I'll give more of my predictions if we do happen to advance to the World Series, which, again, it's not a guarantee. But, I mean, we're so hard to beat at home. So I just don't see us losing this. I don't see us blowing it. Even if we were to lose tomorrow night, which I don't think we will, I just don't see the Diamondbacks winning 2 in a row at our place. I just don't see it happening. I'd be stunned if that happened. I just don't see it happening. But nevertheless, I mean, they still have a shot. This is by no means over. Some people are celebrating a little bit too much. It's one thing to be excited about it, but you have to keep it in check. But this is in no way over. I mean, the series is not over, but we're in very good position, I'll say. We're in very good position to win this series and advance back onto the World Series to face either the Houston Astros or the Texas Rangers. And I'd love to have an Astros-Phillies rematch. I'd love that. Let's beat them this time. And I think we can. I really think we can. We just need to win in Houston, which is something we struggled to do last year. We struggled to do that last year, and our bats can't go cold this time. But I don't think Houston is the same team they were last year. I don't. There's no question about that. They're not the same team they were last year. But hopefully, if we do make it, hopefully Jeremy Pena doesn't totally bomb us like he did last World Series. That was so frustrating. But I think we have a much better chance. I mean, we had the same exact record as the Astros in 2023 regular season. So this would be a much more even match World Series than last year. And I thought it does have to cross your mind. We had a 2-1 series lead in the World Series last year, and then we ended up blowing it. It wasn't like a 3-1 lead, but we had a 2-1 lead. We did lead the series. We were in the series. And we made it a series, but we ended up losing. So hopefully, if we do make it back and we do play the Houston Astros, because there's no guarantee we're going to make it back to the World Series, and there's no guarantee that the Astros are going to make it back to the World Series. The Astros and the Phillies are here in the same position. They're heading back home with a 3-2 series lead. Now, the Astros lost the first 2 games at Minute Maid Park, of this American League Championship Series. They lost the first 2 games against the Texas Rangers. The Phillies won the first 2 games. So I think the Phillies' chances to go back to the World Series are better right now than the Houston Astros' chances. So the Phillies get a day off today. The bullpen, after being totally overworked in Game 4, got a decent amount of guys were able to get the night off last night. Jeff Hoffman, I don't think he could really use him tomorrow night. He's just throwing so many pitches. He threw a good amount of pitches in Game 4. He threw an inning of relief last night. I don't see him coming back tomorrow and being ready. But again, I think we're in very good position here, ladies and gentlemen. Very hard to beat at Citizens Bank Park, so I just don't see us blowing this. I don't. I think I'm very confident we're going to be headed back to the World Series. Let's win it this time. We're going to hopefully have another NL pennant. Another NL pennant banner. But let's win it this time, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, let's win our 3rd World Series ring, but we have to get there first, right? Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But you can't deny the thought is crossing your mind. It's crossing your mind because we're 1 win away from headed back to a World Series. So I'm glad we're heading back home. There's a different energy when you watch it when we're at the bank. It's not the same feeling when you're watching it when we're on the road. It's a much more exciting experience, no doubt. If we're watching it at Citizens Bank Park, we could just feel the energy from the TV screen. So let's make Ron Darling proud, right? Let's head back to the World Series. So guys, that's pretty much it. The Phillies win 6-1, a decisive win, a solid win, a win you could feel good about. Not, we didn't almost give it away at the end. This was a just nice, decisive win, and I think this is a win you can be proud of. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please turn on that notification bell, like this video, comment on this video, share this video, check out the social media. Link in the description section at Phillies Hansu Media Instagram. So guys, that's pretty much it. And right now the game time is 5:07. Tomorrow night, Kelly 1-1 with a 3 ERA going against Aaron Nola 3-0 with a 0.96 ERA. Finish the job and head back to the World Series. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to you later. Let's go, Phils! See everyone later.